Hey, what's up everybody? This is Keegan here and welcome back to the channel. I'm back with a brand new video for you guys. And welcome to another edition of Questions and Answers. This is going to be my questions and answers video for September of 2022. So before we get started, as always, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer in the next Q&A video, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will gladly answer them. And I actually just logged into my computer and I'm just going to go on to YouTube, so just give me a few minutes before we get started. Alright, so we're ready to go, and today I have a total of 28 questions to answer. So without further ado, let's get started. And as always, I answer each question in order by username, like in alphabetical order. So these first 5 questions all come from Alan Parker, and they're all listed in one comment, and the questions are the following. Number 1, what's your opinion on Halloween, 1978? Number 2, what's your opinion on Top Gun? Number 3, what's your opinion on The Wolf of Wall Street? Number 4, what's your favorite and least favorite Eddie Murphy movies? And number 5, what's your favorite movies from 2017? Number 1, Halloween the original is a classic and is one of the greatest slasher movies ever made. And I believe that is the film that defined the term slasher movie. Number 2, Top Gun is pretty good. I prefer the sequel over the first one. I did a review of both the first and second movie when I watched Top Gun Maverick in theaters, which I did a review of those two movies back in June, if you want to check that video out. Number 3, Wolf of Wall Street's an awesome movie. I know I did a review of it on my channel 2 years ago, back in, I believe it was season 2 of my movie review series, or season 1. I believe it was the second season. I can't remember. But I did a review of The Wolf of Wall Street if you want to check it out. Number 4, my favorite Eddie Murphy movie is probably between the first Beverly Hills Cop and Coming to America. And I'm trying to think. He was also good in Daddy Daycare, which I thought that movie was a guilty pleasure. Least favorite Eddie Murphy movies, I'd say, was the sequel to Coming to America, which I hated the second movie. I did a review of that one on my channel. I hated the second movie. And number 5, my favorite movies from 2017. That's a tough one. There were a lot of great movies that came out in 2017, but if I had to pick a few of my favorite movies from 2017, that would be between The Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Shape of Water, what's another one? I liked Get Out, and a couple of other ones, but those are the ones I can think of are some of my favorite movies from 2017. And those are all the questions from Alan Parker. Thanks for the questions, Alan Parker. Now let's move on. So the next 7 questions all come from Andykishore, and they're all into separate comments. So the first one from Andykishore is, did you hear of Joker 2 Folie à Deux? I don't know how you pronounce that. That's coming out on October 4th, 2024, exactly 5 years after the first film. I also heard that the sequel is planned to be a musical film. Yeah, I've heard of it, and I believe apparently Lady Gaga is going to be in the sequel as well as Harley Quinn, apparently. I really enjoyed the first movie. I'm not sure if I'd said if it was one of my favorite movies of 2019, but it was still good. I enjoyed it. I rewatched that movie a couple months ago, back in April to be exact. Anywho, moving on, the next one is, are you aware that of the movie Aqua Teen Forever Platasm that's coming directly on Blu-ray, 4K Ultra HD, and digital November 8th, 2022. Apparently, it's the sequel to Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters, which no, I didn't know they were doing a sequel to it. Also, I have not seen the first Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. Maybe I'll check it out someday. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a funny show, by the way. I enjoy that one. Next one is, are you aware that there's an extended full version of the song Push It to the Limit from the 1983 movie Scarface? The full song is on YouTube for those that are curious enough. No, I did not know there was an extended version of that song. I know that song was also in Grand Theft Auto 3 as well. The next one is, do you think every single house should have air condition at least for every house that is structural sound? Yes, they should. The next one is, have you actually bought any or played any of the DLC for some of the video games that you own on stuff like the Xbox 360 or other systems that have a digital store. Stuff like Elder Scrolls V, Dragonborn on the Xbox 360, and Dark Souls Remastered are examples of games with DLC. Yes, I played a lot of games like the DLC for a lot of games like Outlast Whistleblower, all of the Fallout 3 DLCs and stuff. I played a lot of DLCs for games that has DLC that I own. The next one is, are you aware of the movie Jackass 4.5 that was released on Netflix on May 20th, 2022? Apparently it's compiled of unused footage from Jackass Forever. Yeah, I'm aware of it, but have not watched it yet. And the last one is a question that I don't think needs an answer to. Well, here it is. Are you aware that Queen Elizabeth II passed away on September 8th, 2022 at the age of 96? She was well known for being the Queen of the United Kingdom for more than 70 years. Yes, I'm very much aware of that. Everyone's heard of it. I haven't lived under a rock. A very historical moment. The Queen is gone. So, yeah. So those are all the questions from Andykishore. And thanks for the questions, Andykishore. And so the next question comes from Chase Shepard, and it's one question. And his question is, what are your thoughts on King of the Hill? Haven't really watched too much of King of the Hill. I've seen a couple episodes of it, but not too much episodes. But from what I've seen, I think it's a pretty funny show from Mike Judge, the same creator of Beavis and Butthead, and he also directed Office Space, and I believe he created another show called Silicon Valley. I haven't watched that show, but I hear pretty good things about it. And thanks for the question, Chase Shepard. And the next one comes from Chill Rob G, and his question is, hey, now here's a question for your next Q&A video. Did you hear that David Lynch plays a part in the new Steven Spielberg movie that comes out later this year? Yeah, I heard that David Lynch is appearing in the new Steven Spielberg movie, which I'm just gonna look it up really quick. I forgot the name of it, but I know that Lynch is gonna appear in the new Spielberg movie titled, I'm just looking for it. Just hold on a sec. I'm trying to remember what it's called. The Fablesman, yeah, that's his new movie. That's what it's called. Yeah, he's going to appear in that movie. I do plan on checking out The Fablesman when it comes out. So that's the question from Chillrob G. So thanks for the question, Chillrob G. The next 5 questions all come from Ervin's Movie Corner, and they're all in one comment. And the questions are the following. Number 1, what's your opinion on Heat with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Val Kilmer? Number 2, what's your opinion on Scarface with Al Pacino? Number 3, what's your opinion on Platoon from director Oliver Stone? Number 4, what's your opinion on Pulp Fiction with director Quentin Tarantino? And number 5, what's your opinion on Hang 'em High with Clint Eastwood? Number 1, I answered this one in the last Q&A video, but I'll answer it again. Heat is an awesome movie. I really enjoyed that one, and I actually just watched it for the first time about a month ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'll probably do a review of it someday. I don't know when, but probably not soon, but I will definitely do a review of that movie someday. Number 2, Scarface is a classic and one of my favorite movies, and a very quotable movie. Number 3, I answered before in a recent Q&A video. Well, not the very recent, but a couple of Q&A videos I did a while ago. I still have not seen Platoon, but I do plan on checking it out eventually. Number 4, I have seen Pulp Fiction. It's a classic and Tarantino's best movie, in my opinion. Also in some other people's opinions as well. And number 5, I have not seen Hang 'em High, but I hear great things about it. And I know it's considered a classic, and I believe Clint Eastwood directed it as well, I believe. I could be wrong, though. But I haven't seen it. And those are the 5 questions from Ervin's Movie Corner, and thanks for the questions, Ervin's Movie Corner. And now let's move on. Alright, so we only got 9 questions left, and they all come from ThatMovieNerd 44. And the first of the 9 questions from ThatMovieNerd 44 is, what do you think of Steve Martin? Steve Martin's funny. I do enjoy him. He's a funny actor and a funny comedian. And I do believe he might be going into retirement after what's that show he's on in on Disney Plus? Only Murders in Buildings, or whatever the hell that show is called. I believe he might be retiring after that show ends, I believe. I could be wrong, but maybe. I believe he's like 79 now, I believe, or something. So it is kind of understandable that he will retire eventually. Well, after all, everyone's got to retire eventually. Anywho, the next one from that Bowie Nerd 44. And I gotta warn you, this next one I might ramble about for a bit. It's kind of a controversial question. Well, as of recently. And that next question. One more thing before we get into this question. I also want to warn you that this part of the video will contain strong language. Now, I don't normally swear a lot in my videos, like not like the F-bomb or anything, but this question is really controversial about a certain figure in Hollywood. I just had to drop the F-bomb, so you've been warned. The question is, what do you think of David O. Russell? David O. Russell. I know I answered this one in a Q&A video I did. I believe it was last year, I think. I can't remember. I believe I answered this one in a Q&A video I did last year. But this is kind of an updated opinion, whether I answered this question before or not. But anyways, now I will say I enjoyed American Hustle, Silver Linings Playbook, and I Heart Huckabees. I actually thought I Heart Huckabees was really underrated. And Joy was pretty good. Those are the movies from O. Russell that I've seen. However, recently I've been hearing a lot of terrible things about David O. Russell. I heard that he's like a really awful person to work with in Hollywood. But of course, Hollywood's still going to promote him and people are still going to work for him, despite being a really big psychotic asshole. And it gets even worse. Not only he made Amy Adams cry, according to an interview with Amy Adams, that O. Russell nearly made her cry every day on set during American Hustle. And he also called Lily Tomlin during the set of I Heart Huckabees. He called her a cunt. And he nearly got into a physical fight with George Clooney, I believe. And it gets worse. He was accused of groping his transgender 19-year-old niece, which she was 19 at the time of the incident. He was not only accused of being a big asshole on movies and being a complete fucker to work with, pardon my French, but he's also a potential sexual predator. Well, that technically does make him a sexual predator. So, and I know he's coming out with a new movie pretty soon. So, I don't know if I'm going to see it, to be honest. Plus, the movie looks like shit. But as for David O. Russell, pardon my French once again, fuck him. He's a psychopathic piece of shit who should be accountable for his actions. So, yeah. To hell with him. Although I do enjoy some of his movies, but he's an asshole. Anyways, enough of the rambling. So the next one from that Bowie Nerd 44 is, what do you think of Brendan Fraser? Brendan Fraser's a really good actor. Whether the movies he's in are good or bad. I haven't actually seen too many of his movies. I've only seen him in movies like Furry Vengeance, which I used to like that movie, but it's a stupid movie. He was also in The Crash, not the Cronenberg one, but the 2004 movie, which he was actually good in that movie, although I didn't really like that movie. I prefer the Cronenberg one, if you know what I mean. And I know that he's in a new movie, the new Darren Aronofsky movie called The Whale, I believe. I can't remember what it's called, but I know he's in that movie. I do plan on checking that movie out whenever it comes out. It seems like a great movie. The next one from that Bowie Nerd 44 is, what do you think of Robert Redford? I don't believe I've seen any movie that he was in. I don't think. I know he retired a few years ago, but I don't know if I've actually seen any movie that he was in, that he starred in. Let me just look up really quickly. Let me see. Oh, he was in The Winter Soldier. I didn't know that. Yeah, he was in a lot of movies. And I don't believe I've seen any movie he was in, but I know he's in a lot of movies. So the next one from ThatMovieNerd 44 is, what do you think of parody movies? They're kind of stupid, but I'm sure they're like that on purpose. I haven't really seen too many parody movies, mostly because they don't appeal to me. I've only seen the first Scary Movie and Disaster Movie, and I believe I saw Epic Movie. I can't remember. Scary Movie, the first one's funny, and Disaster Movie, well, as you can probably guess, it was a disaster. Like, it's really bad. It's in fact the lowest rated movie on IMDb. Trust me, go on IMDb and look it up. Well, it'll probably stay like that until another movie that bad can beat it. Well, we'll see about that. The next one from ThatMovieNerd 44 is, are you looking forward to Avatar: The Way of Life? There's already a poster and a teaser trailer for the movie. Now, I know I've said this before many times in the past, but I'll say it again. Avatar is a good movie, but honestly, I don't think a sequel is really necessary, to be honest. In fact, it doesn't need 5 sequels. But that's just my opinion. But am I excited for the movie? To be honest, I'm not really looking forward to it, to be honest. But maybe I might check it out. I don't know. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe I might check it out eventually, but who knows? But unless I change my mind sooner or later, for now, let's just say I'm not really looking forward to the sequel to Avatar. And we only got 3 questions left, so the next one from ThatMovieNerd 44 is, what's your favorite horror film of all time? There's a lot of really good horror movies that I like. I love Videodrome, which is a Cronenberg's masterpiece. I love Midsummer, which I rewatched recently. And I really, really enjoyed Ravenous, which I thought was really underrated. I love Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which, yes, that's technically a horror movie. And Eraserhead. Let me think. What are some other horror movies that I love? I don't know. There's like a lot of horror movies that I like, but those are the ones I can think of right now at the moment. So, yeah. And the next one from ThatMovieNerd 44 is, do you know filmmaker Wolfgang Peterson? He directed movies such as Das Boot, The Neverending Story, Enemy Mine, In the Line of Fire, Outbreak, Air Force One, The Perfect Storm, and Troy. He passed away this August. Yeah, I heard he passed away. May he rest in peace. I've seen Outbreak and have it on DVD. I've also seen The Neverending Story and Troy, but I have not seen Air Force One. I do plan to check that movie out someday, though. But rest in peace, Wolfgang Peterson. And the last one from ThatMovieNerd 44, and also the last question for this video. What do you think of Debbie Reynolds? She was in films like Singing in the Rain, How the West Was Won, Kiki's Delivery Service, 1989 in English version, and Halloween Town. And she was also the mother of Carrie Fisher. Yeah, I think she was a great actress, and I believe she was a singer as well. Yeah, she was a great actress. I thought she was married to Burt Reynolds at one point, but I don't think she was. I think she might have been his sister or something. So, yeah, so those are all the questions from ThatMovieNerd 44, and those are all the questions for this video. And special thanks to everybody for submitting their questions. Well, guys, that wraps up another edition of Questions and Answers. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I do apologize for dropping the F-bomb twice. I know I don't normally swear too much in my videos, like not excessively like the F-bomb, but I just had to let it out. David O. Russell's a scumbag. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, feel free to follow me on my Instagram, Letterboxd, and Serialized. Links are in the description down below. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, once again, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will gladly answer them in the next one, coming out in October. But anyways, until next time, this is Keegan Shepard signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.